Here was the announcement on David Liu's blog, Salesforce Career Strategies webinar that I joined recently. I loved it. I didn't get to listen to it live. I listened to the replay of it. Here, someone shared the link. Thank you, Shudash. Some of the topics covered were how to set and achieve goals, evaluating your current position, signs that time to leave your current role, the best path to your job search, and negotiating for more money. A lot of great stuff. I just listened to Toni Martin and David Liu's Salesforce Career Strategies webinar. Although it was long and 80 minutes, I loved it. A lot of good content. And I'd like to sum it up for you into 10 minutes. I'll present to you the points that I found the most important. I categorized these points into 3 categories. First one is information about the Salesforce industry in general. Second is how to get a Salesforce job. And third is how to get ahead once you have a Salesforce job. So let's start with information about the Salesforce industry in general. The first point was there is huge shortage of Salesforce professionals. In his opinion, this is the best industry out there. If you want to get a job, if you want to be valued, if you want to make a lot of money, being a Salesforce professional is the best career choice ever. Someone asked David Liu whether being an MVP helped him advance his career. David Liu said no. At Google, it's not valued that much. People don't really understand it. But he thinks that if he was at another company, it would have really helped him. The area that MVP has helped him is meet a lot of other people, get invited to Salesforce conferences like Trailblazing India, being invited to some webinars and meeting new people and getting more credibility in the Salesforce industry. Typically though, in other companies, being an MVP automatically elevates one to a superstar status. Someone asked David if there is age discrimination in the Salesforce industry. In David's opinion, the industry with little or no age discrimination is the Salesforce industry, because there is just so much demand for people who are Salesforce professional that they're overlooking age, race, or any other biases that are common in other industries. So these were the 3 topics in the general Salesforce industry category. Now let's jump to our next category, which is how to get a Salesforce job. There was a lot of discussion around this, and I'd like to present them to you. David's first suggestion was to build a personal project in Salesforce. Get a dev org, something you keep personally track of in Excel or other means. Do it in Salesforce. For example, keeping track of your expenses. You can create an account and create a custom object for expenses. Custom object, create a field amount, description, date, and thus you can keep adding new items. Write down and track your expenses. Then you can create a master to detail relationship on the account that will automatically sum up all the expenses that happened. So that's just an idea. That's a place to start. Immerse yourself in Salesforce basically. Once you make it personal, you will just start learning and exploring, Googling for different things, talking to people. So I really like the idea. Create a personal Salesforce project. I actually did that myself too. I have created 2 personal Salesforce projects. I'll create a separate Salesforce video around that. The second idea on how to get a Salesforce job is you have to apply for Salesforce jobs. Even if you think you're not worth it, still apply. You'll see your weaknesses, you'll see what the market demands, and you'll practice and this would encourage you to keep learning, making up for your gaps. Once your dream job comes, you're ready, you're in shape. A good way to get a Salesforce job, contribute to the Salesforce community. When I just started in the Salesforce world, I created my first video, my YouTube video on how to get a Salesforce admin exam. To my great surprise, the video got 6,000 views within a couple of months. That was rejuvenating. Then I created a video on how to get an app builder, and then I stopped. But recently I started again creating Salesforce videos about different topics, but more technical ones, like what are quick actions, how to automate emails, how to create system.assert methods. And these have been really, really helpful for myself to better understand some things that I kind of knew about but didn't dive into much. But when I had to create a video, it made me understand it thoroughly. So I really recommend you to start a blog or a YouTube channel where you explore different things in the Salesforce world, both technical, job related, or some success stories. Just do something. Just get yourself involved more in the Salesforce community, and this would help you get a job. So these were the 3 ideas on how to get a Salesforce job. First one is build a personal project. The second one is apply for Salesforce jobs and see where you stand. Third one is contribute to the Salesforce community. The third category of topics that were covered was the biggest. This one is around once you have a Salesforce job, how do you get ahead? In David's opinion, the best way to get ahead is to become a Salesforce developer. There's just, imagine this shortage of Salesforce professionals is that big, and now the shortage of Salesforce developer positions is that much bigger. So do your best to become a Salesforce developer. Learn Java, learn JavaScript, create some Lightning components. In the personal org that you've created, write some triggers, use process builder, use Lightning flows, and keep experimenting, keep writing, talk to others, attend meetup meetings, give a presentation at a meetup meeting. And before you know it, within 2-3 months, you'll become pretty comfortable in Apex, in Lightning components, and you'll be awesome. David in particular recommends becoming a Lightning developer because there's just huge shortage of Lightning developers. So something for you to study, something for you to explore in Trailhead, personal project, create Lightning components. The second point David shared on getting ahead as a Salesforce professional is quite unusual. Something I didn't expect from this podcast, but it's very good. Ask for feedback from all your stakeholders, not just your direct manager, but everyone else you work with, on how can you improve yourself. People do not give feedback because a lot of people on the receiving end of the feedback don't like it, especially if it's negative. But it's a negative feedback that is useful, because that's a negative feedback that will help you get ahead. Maybe you have some anger management or listening issues. If someone tells you don't listen, that's hurtful, right? So that's why people don't tell you feedback. But you need that feedback. So go around all your key stakeholders and ask for feedback. When you ask for feedback, it sends a signal that you want to learn, that you want to get ahead. This is powerful. Write it all down, keep track of it, and in 6 months, go back to the person and tell them, this is what I've done. Do you notice me getting better? This shows that you're a leader, that you're self-improving, that you're getting ahead. This is awesome. I really like this idea, and I hope you guys do it, and that's what I'm planning to do in my job right now. Someone asked David, how does he know when it's time for him to change his job or role or company? In David's opinion, he changes jobs when he's not learning the things he needs to be learning, or he's not learning the things that he wants to be learning. And then someone else asks, how does he know what he needs to be learning? The Salesforce universe is so huge, there's so much to learn. How do you know what you need to be learning? David thinks that we need to talk to other people, attend Dreamforce, Salesforce World Tour event, or go to meetups. Just immerse yourself, you explore, you become excited about different features and see where your interest, your passion goes. Once you become interested in these things, if you really want to learn it, but you're not learning it at your work, then there might be some problem. Say if you're interested in Lightning components, and you'd like to create some beautiful Lightning components, but your company is still in Classic and you'll still be in Classic the next 3-4 years, then it might be time for you to change jobs or roles. David's experience, he has changed his job role every 2 years. Even when he's been within Google the past 6 years, I think, he's changed his jobs within Google. That's something for you to keep in mind, yeah? Not to become stale, keep changing jobs or roles so that you keep learning, getting smarter, and becoming better Salesforce professional. Toni asked David, how do you set yourself goals? How do you know what your goals should be? David sets medium-term goals. Based on those goals, sets short-term goals that need to be accomplished to achieve the medium term. So the question then is, how do you set medium-term goals? Something you want to achieve in 2-3 years. For that, David travels a lot, talks to a lot of people, and sees what are other people doing. What would he like to be doing? But on the other hand, for a lot of people who come from third world countries, like myself, or a lot of people from India, I think a medium-term goal is to make much more money than what they're making right now, so that they can help their relatives, friends, back home, or family, so they just can get ahead. So the medium-term goal a lot of time is just, how can we double our salary, or increase it by X%? And I wish David talked more about this. It's less idealistic. I think it's relevant to a lot of people. If I want to just increase my salary, what do I do? I know I have to be a developer, but how do I negotiate? How do I know what's a role that will pay me more? Anyway, let's say you set yourself a salary goal or a role goal. I want to become a solution architect. Write it down and put it on your desk, in your car, so that you visualize it, see it happening, coming to you every day, and you stay focused on it. Something you do every day must contribute to you getting closer to that goal. For example, myself, in my free time, I create Salesforce videos, watch webinars, creating a video like this, so that I'm constantly learning and trying to get ahead and pushing the pedal of learning. And you should do the same. Continue learning, attend the meetups, Go to Salesforce World Tour if you don't have the money, the budget for Dreamforce. There is always opportunity to learn, and you should be doing, and it's fun. Yeah, and I think that's the most important. You should have fun while you learn Salesforce. That's what I'm having right now, and you should have it too. That's what makes it easy for me. I don't feel like it's a chore. Too many days in a row, you find yourself not working closer to your short term, and there is something wrong. You should either reconsider your short-term goals, or you should reconsider your job or your daily actions. Why is it that you're not getting closer? So this requires some self-analysis, recalibration. David talked about how he knows when it's not time to leave a company. There are 3 things that hold David to a company, even if it's not paying him the salary he wants. First one is he has an awesome boss. Second, learning. Third is great colleagues. If these are the 3 areas that his company, his job is strong at, he doesn't change his jobs. Even if another company is offering much more. For him, it's a huge disruption to change company. A new company pay much more, but it doesn't offer peace of mind. Peace of mind is a huge premium. Hard to put a number to it, but David thinks it's hard to predict how much you like your new job, your new boss, your new projects. So he likes to sit in the same job if he likes it. So as you can tell, David places a huge premium on happiness over money. But how much is happiness worth? That's an interesting question we should try to quantify so that we can compare. It comes out strong that David places a huge premium on learning. As long as a company offers an opportunity to learn, he's willing to stay there, keep learning and learning. That's a really interesting idea, and I agree with him. I love my company right now, although I don't get paid so much as my peers in the Salesforce industry. But I'm learning so much every day. I feel like I'm just going to college or a boot camp because I'm learning so much and I love the stuff I'm learning, and I'm getting paid to go to college. It's a dream job. And I think David would have liked my job a lot too. The reason David joined Google is because of the opportunity to learn. It was his dream job. He took it, although he took a 50% salary cut. That's how much premium priority David places on learning. When we learn, we are accumulating our long-term earning capacity. If we are happy, we keep growing our learning capacity. We keep learning and increasing our future earnings potential. If we become unhappy, it becomes hard for us to stay motivated and learn new things. So it hurts our future earnings potential. So this is the key reason why David thinks we should value learning a lot, because in the long term, it'll pay off. That's a really interesting idea, and I hope you take this away. So think, if you're a Salesforce professional right now, are you learning a lot? And if you're making a lot of money but not earning, you're hurting your long-term career potential. So this was an absolutely great idea that made the whole webinar worth it. So thank you, David. Thank you, Toni, for putting it together. Let's say you have an awesome job. You're learning, you have a great colleague. Let's say you have an awesome job. You're learning, you have an awesome boss, you have very nice colleagues, you get along, but you don't make so much money. And David shared a few ideas on how you can get more from your current job. So if you're on LinkedIn, Rolodex of recruiters, as they reach out to you, ask them what's your budget for the job that they want to recruit you for, and write it all down. Over 2 weeks, company X, this role, this budget. At the end of 2 weeks, take this list and show it to your boss. Say, hey boss, this is what I'm getting paid as a developer or as an admin, and this is what the market is offering. Is there something you can do to help meet the gap? Very likely that they would be happy to meet the gap. I really like the idea. I told it to my brother too. So keep track of people who reach out to you, ask them what their budget for the position is, and use it to increase your current salary. So if recruiters reach out to you, just don't blow them off, even if you're not looking for a job. Get some useful information from them. Someone asked, should they pursue any marketing-related certifications? David thinks no, only if you're heavily involved in using Marketing Cloud, or if you're in a marketing role, then you should pursue these Marketing Cloud related certifications. The certifications that are worth it are Salesforce development related. Focus on development if you want to get ahead, if you want to earn more. So this was a really interesting webinar. What questions would you have asked David?